To be able to start the day with breakfast is a luxury for these Venezuelan migrants. Having left their country due to its desperate humanitarian situation, they found themselves thousands of kilometers away. Here, in a refuge for migrants in Tacna, a small city on Peru's border with Chile.
I
have been staying here for months now. Since my child fell ill, we have been living on the street, as I had no one to help me or guide me, so I've been able to take refuge here.
She and her compatriots here are among the lucky ones. Many others are living on the street, forced to move from place to place. The director of this Catholic migrant shelter says they've never seen so many people seeking refuge.
The
migratory policy of any country has the right to do as it wants. The issue in Peru is that it is lacking in what is humane treatment. For example, we know that in many other countries, like in Chile, the life of the migrant is not easy, but they will take the migrant to a shelter and give them food. And that does not exist here.
After breakfast, Venezuelan migrants like Alvis head out onto the streets to try to make a little money selling sweets. It's better than begging, he says, and some people help out. But attitudes in Peru are hardening towards the country's 1.5 million Venezuelans, particularly here on the frontier with Chile, where local officials sent a letter to the president requesting stricter border controls.
There are migrants, mostly Venezuelans, who have come to offer skilled labor with the many tasks that are needed here in our society. But there are also, on the other hand, people who want to commit crimes within our jurisdiction.
Peru's government has set a 6-month deadline to allow foreigners in the country to regularize their immigration status. But here at the frontier with Chile, those who don't have the right documents cannot cross the border. For many of the Venezuelans, the only way out was a humanitarian flight to Caracas from the Chilean city of Arica. The flight left in the early hours of Sunday, taking 115 citizens back to Venezuela. Hours later, those who'd been in limbo on the border were reunited with their families back home. Meanwhile, migrants, Haitians as well as Venezuelans, keep arriving at the Peruvian border. Just a handful, like Leonelis Perez, whose son was born in Peru, are getting through. Dan Collyns, CGTN, on the Peru-Chile border.